I would like to call to order the business meeting agenda for the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners for Monday, February 23rd. Commissioner Schulte, would you like to lead us in the flag salute? Since we have 3 commissioners here, we have a quorum.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes of February 9th, 2015.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of February 9th, 2015. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Public comment? First one I'd like to call is Ed Peterson. And please state your name and your address.
Full address?
Or just where you're from.
Where are you from?
My name is Ed Peterson. I'm a resident of Dryad. I live on the State Highway next to Rainbow Falls Park. And I'm here to voice some frustration with CenturyLink, and it's frustration that you've heard before over their inability to provide adequate internet and telephone service to residents of the rural county. CenturyLink is refusing to add new customers onto their system in Doty Dryad. I have lived in my house for 2 years. We cannot have phone and internet service in our name, because if we do switch the account to our name from the owner's name, they'll consider us new service, and because they've been in a state of permanent bandwidth exhaust since 2012, won't provide service. My neighbors recently sold their house. The people who are moving into that house will not be able to get phone and internet service, or at least internet service. The pastor of my church recently switched to Dish Internet and found it wasn't a viable alternative, and when they tried to switch back to CenturyLink, we're told we can't provide service. On the phone with CenturyLink yesterday, or Friday, they admitted to me that they know about the state of permanent bandwidth exhaust. They've known about it for 4 years, and they have no plans to do anything about it. They say they get away with this because they have a non-exclusive franchise with the county, so if any other company wanted to come in and provide services, they'd be welcome to do so. The problem is the millions of dollars in investment that it would take for a small community like ours, and the fact that that investment would have to ride on CenturyLink's infrastructure, which has no more capacity, according to them. We're on infrastructure that hasn't been upgraded since the 1970s, when our utilities at my house were undergrounded. And I would like the board to consider not renewing their franchise agreement in 2016 without significant assurances from CenturyLink that they're going to upgrade their service, not just to be able to provide service to everybody equally in those areas that they do serve, but to actually upgrade to where it's actually usable service. As it stands now, you can't use the internet in Doty from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Can't do it. Kids can't do homework, I can't run my business, nobody can get anything done because it grinds to a halt. And it's not just unique to our community. It's Packwood, it's Randall, it's Cinnabar, Salcombe, it's everywhere in the rural county that CenturyLink serves. They refuse to upgrade their service to where we can live in the 21st century. So I'd like the board to consider some options and look at some things that we can do to try to improve service in our rural county.
Thank you.
Ron Averill.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ron Averill from Centralia, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Lewis County Farm Bureau this morning. We just had a legislative committee meeting, and we discovered in that meeting that it looks like the funding for the VSP is going to be approved in this legislature in the capital budget. I bring this to your attention because, as you know, this voluntary program deals with the critical areas in our critical area ordinance in the county. Because we joined the VSP when it was originated 4 years ago, we were exempted from having to consider farms in the critical area ordinance. The purpose of the VSP program is to determine how farmers will work with their land as stewards of the land to ensure that the critical areas are protected. This program has very specific bounds that it sets up. It establishes the people that will be involved in the planning, the various groups such as Farm Bureau, the environmental groups, the Indian tribes that will participate, and it describes how they'll go about their business. So I think this is the time, the budget will of course be approved probably by June if they continue, if they can continue to find agreement. And thereafter, we'll be able to start planning in the VSP. And now is the time to get out the document, look it over, and prepare for establishing this. And one of the reasons I bring up is that you can't just go about VSP in any way. Thurston County was one of the pilot counties in this program. They decided to ignore the law and were taken to court to go back on the law as it was required to establish this program. Lewis County Farm Bureau would like to be a part in this planning, and we stand ready when you're ready. Thank you very much.
The next area of our agenda is employee recognition. So we have some certificates and plaques to present. So let's move to the area. We'll start with Employee of the Year. Look around the room. There's somebody in here that's the Employee of the Year. Would Bill Teitzel like to come forward?
You have to come over here closer, I'm sorry.
Yes, congratulations. He did not know.
You got to stand here.
His supervisor suggests he come here for another reason, so this
You have to
is,
get a picture. You have to get closer, Edna.
I want to read about him first. Could I just do this? Because I think this is so worthwhile about why he is the Employee of the Year. So Bill works for Environmental Health, and he worked with Kesting Dairy, who had approximately 350 dairy cows that, if not milked regularly, would dry up and produce milk. This may result in destruction of the animal for a meat product. The employees at the dairy farm walked off the job, leaving the dairy cattle unattended. Bill received several calls, and he started to solve this major issue. Technically, animals are not considered abandoned until they are left for 72 hours. Knowing that dairy cattle need to be milked every day on a regular basis, Bill knew they did not have 72 hours to wait for an intervention. Bill contacted the Department of Agriculture without success. At this time, Bill had completed his role in this very dire situation. However, Bill took it upon himself to go above and beyond his normal duties. He managed to make connections with multiple parties. The owner did not know the operator of the dairy who had leased the cattle and facility had moved to Texas and did not contact the owner of such. Bill also contacted the lien holder in California, who had over $1 million invested into this business. Bill was able to facilitate the discussions between the lien holder, property owner, and the dairy foreman. They were able to take care of the immediate need by getting employees back to work on the dairy farm and have a new manager. Bill worked throughout the day and into the night to facilitate a solution to this crisis. His extra effort potentially saved 350 cattle from destruction, an investor hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a logistical nightmare providing care of 350 cattle for the state and county. Once again, Employee of the Year, Bill Teitzel. Yes, right. Okay.
And your name will be added to the plaque.
So will you ever believe us when we want you to come over here?
Do we have a couple of
Yes, we do. We have two above and beyond recipients. And the first one, sitting over here, is Carrie Muir, Board of County Commissioners Clerk. Come on up, Carrie. Yes. And she just had a birthday, so this is very timely, too. Yes.
29.
29, yes. So this is what the nominee said about Carrie, or nominator. When good ideas are brought to a table, the excitement and brainstorming begins. So many fantastic images of the future event unfold in everyone's mind, and the planning takes shape, as was the case for the historical celebration in Lewis County. These ideas by themselves do not make the event successful. Instead, the work crew does, the heavy lifters do, and Carrie Muir, clerk of the board, did. Many might not have noticed her heavy lifting, the heavy boxes of books, moving tables to set them exactly where they were needed, asking each office what they needed, and making sure that the courthouse was ready for company. But then again, she works that way. She doesn't seem interested in the middle of the spotlight. As a matter of fact, she avoids it. And she's probably standing behind me, aren't you? Yes. She goes above and beyond, making sure the bulb is in working order, the cord is plugged in the outlet, and the stage is set for the spotlight to be focused on the project, not on her. And she touches every detail. Once again, congratulations, above and beyond, Carrie Muir. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta hold that up so you can see.
Thank you.
Isn't she getting a new
New camera, new
She's getting
batteries.
slower.
And the next person, Matt Trent, Information Technology. Come on up, Matt. Congratulations. And this is what the nominator wrote about Matt. While on family vacation, Matt heard about a new bug, and that's not a spray bug, that's a bug in a computer, discovered in the bash shell of Unix and Linux servers. In short, an attacker could run code by simply requesting basic information from the computer, a server, or other certain devices. The remote execution of this extra code could let an attack load malware on our system and steal private information, financial data, delete or compromise our data, activate cameras, open, lock, and pretty much anything on our network with a little know-how. Still on vacation, Matt worked diligently to identify vulnerable systems and patch them as quickly as possible. He also identified which vendors had vulnerabilities and fought hard to ensure they were taking his threat seriously. Matt chose protecting the county's infrastructure above his own scheduled leisure. While this attitude and attention to security is something Matt is characteristic by, we are very fortunate to have his, and his actions are certainly above the call of duty. Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
He also helped with all these screens. Now we have certificate of appreciation for folks, this time with 10 years of dedicated service. Julia West. Hi, Julia. Congratulations.
No, scoot over and closer. I'll look over your shoulder.
Sorry, John. Next one is Robert Nelson.
20 years.
20 years. Guess so.
Here, stand up front here. Where are you going?
I'm getting ready for the next one.
You just got another 5 years waiting for that.
Renee Shepherd. Through our record search, we found that we don't think she received her 25-year, and we're giving her her 25 and 30-year at one time. Thank you, Renee. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Go ahead and stay next. They won't have bookend president. Up, down, up, down.
You gotta hold that up. Sure, but it's easy.
There you go.
Thank you.
The next one goes to a person with 30 years of valuable service, Jerry Lux, Lewis County Assessor's Office. Congratulations.
You must have started when you were 4.
Yeah, she started when she was 4, yeah.
Congratulations.
That camera.
We're going to go to one picture soon.
It's really wonderful to see all these great employees getting their awards. Once again, thank you.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda. Items 1 through 9, Resolution 15 Tax 053 through 15 Tax 061.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda 1 through 9, number 15-053 to 061. And the first one, resolution number 15-053, warrants, 454 regular warrants for a total payment against the county of $1,317,874.19. Item 2, resolution number 15-054 is approving the contracts for the 2015 use of the hotel motel tax. So for Lewis County Historical Society, $28,800. Destination Packwood, $65,800. White Pass Scenic Byway, $61,500. On-Alaska Alliance, $4,600. Fire Mountain Arts Council, $9,300. White Pass Historical Society, $17,600. Mossy Rock Area Action League, $16,500. Colletts River Valley Historical Society, $7,200. Art Trails, $900. And Lewis County Government, $30,900. Okay. Item 3.
Good morning, Commissioners. Delane Coleman, Human Resources, speaking to item number 3, Resolution 15-055. Due to the vacancy and hiring demands of the Sheriff's Office to conduct intensive background checks, HR is requesting to hire a casual human resource coordinator. The Lewis County Salary Grid 13-step M Grid. Maximum pay for a casual employee would not be competitive to a skilled coordinator. HR is requesting that the casual coordinator be placed at a grade 21 on the Lewis County Salary Grid. Thank you.
Sheriff Snodgrass, do you want to add anything to that?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is based on a need that we've seen. We've worked in partnerships with HR, and we've found that we are spending an enormous amount of money on detectives and corrections sergeants doing backgrounds. Currently, we are down 2 positions on the operations side, and we're down at least 5 positions right now on corrections side. And over the last several months, we've tried to do this in-house, and what we're finding is that we're paying corrections sergeants time and a half to go out, which is over $40 an hour to go out and do background investigations. Generally on a background investigation, it takes between 15 and 20 hours to complete. And working with HR on this, we found that we've got a better resolution to this, that we bring on a casual employee that we are familiar with, that knows the Sheriff's Office in detail and what our expectations are. And this casual employee will work at the direction of HR in cooperation with the Sheriff's Office to remedy the costs that we're getting on doing backgrounds. It's an enormous amount. When you're doing 6 at a time on backgrounds, it takes a lot of resources when we need to take those resources and put them back not only on the road, but in corrections and doing the regular jobs. We're asking people to go above and beyond their job description to do these backgrounds. And again, it takes them away from what we're really asking them to do. So I appreciate your support on this. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Strozek, Director of Central Service. Item number 4 on your agenda is approving an interlocal agreement with Twin Transit for technical assistance. At the request of Twin Transit, we were approached as they are starting to do a remodel on their current facilities in Centralia, and they just don't have the skill set at this time or the time to write a bid proposal and do some other technical assistance. So at the request of Commissioner Schulte, I had met with the manager over there, Rob LaFontaine, and discussed this project at great length. And this is an interlocal agreement that will allow Lewis County, specifically myself and Doug Carey, to do some technical work with and in conjunction with Twin Transit to get them off the ground and start their remodel project.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, the Twin Transit administrative staff is very small, and they have money set aside to do this project, but they don't have the in-house expertise. So they're paying for this, including our time, but we're going to help them manage this project.
So, item number 5 on your agenda is resolution number 15057. It's approving an interlocal agreement with Lewis County Fire District number 1, which is on Alaska, for computer and software maintenance agreement. This is our standard agreement that we bring forth. They're 2-year agreements. This one will expire at the end of 2016. This is an oddball agreement that was sitting out there. The other ones all expire at the end of this year, but due to timing on the previous agreement, this one has actually expired at the end of 14. So this is basically a renewal for 2 years. Our base rate will be $55 an hour for on-duty time and $75 an hour for off-duty time, and so we can work on their Spillman system. Item number 6 on your agenda is resolution number 15058. It's approving an interlocal agreement with Riverside Fire Authority for radio repair and maintenance services. Again, we do several agreements, City of Centralia, City of Chehalis, PUDs, Centralia City Light, to work on their radio equipment. Riverside Fire Authority has always done their own in conjunction with Day Wireless in Longview. Due to their staffing reductions, Chief Kidda, who used to do that work, has approached us and asked us to do their preventive maintenance work because they no longer has time. So this agreement will be a 2-year agreement that will allow us to work on their radio equipment. Basically what we're looking at is their mobiles and portable radio systems to keep them up and running because they just don't have time to do it anymore. Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Elsey, Public Works Director, speaking to item number 7, resolution number 15-059, the proposed acquisition of additional right-of-way for Davis Creek Road in Randall. This resolution authorizes the acquisition of additional right-of-way for Davis Creek Road from 7 property owners. This will allow us to tee up the intersections on US 12 and build turnarounds. This bridge was washed out in the 2006 flood. We're not replacing the bridge. Instead, we're doing an alternate project. This is part of that alternate project. Thank you.
And someone might be wondering why it took us till 2006.
Well, and a lot of it is just that it hasn't been a high priority, and because it is an alternate project. You know, certainly we had the 2007 flood, and there have been other disasters, and working with FEMA and DEM, the priorities rise sort of as they rise, unfortunately. And with this one, since we weren't planning on replacing the bridge, it hasn't been a high priority, but it is finally rising to the top.
And folks they could access the highway anyway, right?
That's
They
correct.
weren't.
There's been no reduction in access this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lee Napier, Director of Community Development, speaking on agenda items 8 and 9. Agenda item 8 is resolution 15-060. This is a second supplemental agreement to professional services with French and Associates. They have been retained through the Flood Authority, and at the recommendation of the Flood Authority, they are asking that we continue to work with them on a floodplain management analysis and now recommendations, implementing their recommendations project. The other item is agenda item number 9, resolution 15-061. And this is an amendment to a contract between the State of Washington and the State of Washington Office of Financial Management and Lewis County, representing the Chehalis Flood Authority. And this will amend our contract to increase our budget amount, which will actually cover the expenses of the prior contract. Any questions?
Questions?
Thank you.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 9, and resolution numbers 15-053 through 061. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion carried. Any good of the order that the commissioners want to share? Okay.
With no further business, I move we adjourn.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Thank you.